I mean, I agree with the industry's criticism of the SEC. In particular, from the SEC, there's been a lack of regulatory clarity. I'm no fan of Gary Gensler.
Me neither.
He refuses to issue a single rule on crypto. He refuses to provide guidance. And he's been engaging in a practice known as regulation by enforcement. And for me, regulation by enforcement is the equivalent of accusing someone of speeding or ticketing someone for speeding without telling them the speeding limit.
Right.
Like for me, clarity is the cornerstone of compliance. Like you as an entrepreneur need to be clear about what the rules require of you in order to comply with them. And Gary Gensler refuses to tell the industry, here are the rules of the road. And then there's also the problem of mixed messaging. The CFTC claims that Ether is a commodity.
Right.
The SEC claims it's a security.
Right.
The CFTC tells us that Tether is a commodity. The SEC tells us it's a security. The Fed says it's a currency. And then Gary Gensler himself has an ever-evolving position. He first said that Ether was a commodity. Then he said it was a security. Then he said it depends. And so how can you possibly comply with the regulations when you're receiving mixed messages, not only between and among the regulators, but from the same regulators?
Right.
In the United States Congress, hearing was convened yesterday to discuss the technologies that are deployed for payment methods other than cash-based techniques. Throughout the duration of the conversation, Tom Emmer, who is presently acting as the chair of the National Republican Congressional Committee, focused his attention on Ripple and XRP, in addition to a number of other cryptocurrencies. To also mention a few other cryptocurrencies, the level of excitement among those who support Ripple is increasing. During the congressional hearing that was held yesterday, Representative Tom Emmer, who represents the 6th District of Minnesota, delivered a speech to a group of prominent individuals in the payments business. The address was titled as Cash Still King. Those persons who are involved in the payments business made up the members of the group. Emmer discussed Ripple and XRP, in addition to a wide array of other cryptocurrencies and projects, during a brief conversation with Miss Christine, who is the Senior Policy Counsel for Consumer Reports. The meeting was brief. Additionally, Mr. Emmer went over a wide variety of other activities that were being undertaken. The allegations that Ripple marketed XRP to investors as an unregistered asset have been the subject of a class action complaint that has been filed against the company. Ripple is now taking legal action to defend itself against these allegations. Additionally, Ripple has been accused of seeking to circumvent the regulations that govern the securities industry, and the company is currently being threatened with legal action for engaging in this behavior. In 2015, Ripple was found to have breached the Bank Secrecy Act, which resulted in the business being liable to a punishment. Regarding Ripple, this is not the first time that the company has been involved in legal issues. In fact, it has been going on for quite some time. In addition, the R3 blockchain consortium filed a lawsuit against them in 2017 as a consequence of a disagreement regarding the numerous options that were available to purchase XRP tokens by. The lawsuit was filed because of the disagreement of the R3 blockchain consortium. Have you paid any consideration to the fact that Ripple was called up at the hearing that was held by the congressional committee? Tell us what you think by leaving a comment down below. Mr. Emmer was trying to get a congresswoman to ignore a question that he was trying to ask her. The question was whether or not she was aware of the enormous amount of technological innovation that has been going place in blockchain technology up to this present day. In addition, he listed Bitcoin, Ethereum, and others, all of which are examples of promising breakthroughs in the field of digital payment system technology. He also noted M-Pizza within his list. He underlined each and every one of these coins. In addition to this, he expressed his concern that these unique ideas will be stifled as a result of an excessive amount of regulation from the government. In addition to being an expert in digital financial services, Mr. True was a member of the steering committee for the Faster Payments Task Force, which was established by the Federal Reserve. This task force was responsible for accelerating new payment methods. XRP was not the only cryptocurrency that she was familiar with. She was also well-versed in a variety of other cryptocurrencies. The Congressional Committee voiced its worries on a wide range of issues, some of which include ransomware, crypto-jacking attacks, and database hacking, amongst others. There has been noted, on the other hand, that cryptocurrencies have the potential to be exploited in the prevention of cybercrimes, particularly the theft of data. There were several reasons for the recognition of cryptocurrencies, and this was one of them. They spread the information about these words on social media as if they were a congressional endorsement, which is a far cry from what actually took place in this scenario. The XRP disseminated the word about these statements. Consistent declining trend has been observed in the value of XRP over the course of the past 2 years in a row. A persistent downward trend has been observed in the price of XRP ever since the beginning of the crypto winter, which took place more than 2 years ago. The Ripple Corporation maintains a stockpile of pre-mined tokens, which they routinely sell on cryptocurrency exchanges in considerable amounts. This is done with the intention of raising capital for the purpose of sustaining development. The purpose of this is to raise money for the cause. Ripple, on the other hand, has been putting in a considerable lot of effort over the course of the more recent few months in order to cut down on the quantity of XRP that is being sold on exchanges. As a result of the recent announcement that Ripple may be contemplating an initial public offering, which is more commonly referred to as an IPO, concerns have been expressed about the usability of XRP. Taking into consideration the fact that the asset is not a required instrument for carrying out transactions on RippleNet is an especially important aspect to take into account in this context. A native asset is attempting to compete with SWIFT, which is the oldest international payment system. SWIFT is currently under competition from the native asset. As a consequence of this, SWIFT is up against competition. The World Economic Forum, which took place this year, was the venue for their lobbying activities, and the goal of those efforts was to influence the leaders of the world in order to promote this story. Critics have brought to light the fact that the Genesis block is one of the 32,570 blocks that are absent from the XRP ledger. This is something that has been brought to their attention. Critics have brought this to light for a number of reasons, and this is one of them. It is possible to draw the conclusion from this that Ripple's supply of billions XRP cannot be audited, and that the chain of custody for the supply cannot be certified. As a result, you need to have complete and utter faith in Ripple. The Ripple XRP coin is the third cryptocurrency that is currently available on the market. This is measured by the market capitalization of the cryptocurrency. Ever since it achieved its all-time high in January, its value has had a difficult 2018 because, as is the case with the rest of the market, it has been experiencing a trying year. It would be the case that this would be the case for the entirety of these transactions. In order to achieve this goal, the goal is to make XRP the currency of choice for international money transfers and payments from one country to another. The primary objective of the cryptocurrency is to bring about a significant change in the way that financial institutions and payment providers move money from one country to another. Providing both the network and the liquidity will allow for the successful completion of this task. The specialized solutions that XRP provides, such as XRapid and Xcurrent, are designed to make it feasible for XRP to become the most appropriate currency for these international financial transactions. XRP was built to be the currency that best fits these transactions. There are a lot of people that have a tendency to ignore significant number of cryptocurrencies and pay less attention to them. A significant number of cryptocurrencies are currently available. It is possible that investing in these cryptocurrencies would not only result in the maximum possible returns, but it would also reduce the amount of anxiety that is associated with fluctuations in their pricing. Specifically, this is due to the fact that the values of these cryptocurrencies are quite stable. The framework that Ripple is offering is currently being deployed or tested by a number of other large financial organizations, including Santander Bank and Standard Chartered Bank, amongst others. Ripple is contributing to the development of this framework. These establishments are either putting the framework into practice or conducting tests on it. By adopting blockchain technology, which has already been developed by the latter, customers would have the capacity to send and receive payments in a wide range of currencies. The fact that this mobile application is already available has previously been developed. The testing program that Standard Chartered has been putting into place between India and Singapore has already been put into effect. This program takes place between the two countries. Despite the fact that they are the most important metrics, the fact that they are not universally accepted is the root cause of the problem. This is a very different thing from talking to banks, which is a whole different thing since banks are completely different customers. When you need to convince clients on the ground, it is a very different thing. What course of action should Ripple and XRP take with their activities today? If each and every one of Ripple's agreements turns out to be successful, what would it mean? The conclusion would be the most favorable outcome that could possibly take place. That is of the utmost importance that it continues to establish and maintain links with a good number of central banks that are located in different parts of the world. That's all for now. Thank you for watching.